Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a, a Starshatter Arsenal video. Things happened this weekend. It has results. And I think taking a step back, the cracks are showing in Starshatter Arsenal that already I felt were there, but even more so from a standpoint. I know you look at this and you go, what the fuck are you on about? It has six tops in one weekend. But I think that's more to the point of value. Why? Because watching the games, what happened when Star Shatter Arsenal was met with either somebody bringing anti-tank. Also, I don't know what the fuck happened this past weekend. Don't know why everybody over the holidays forgot you need that in your list. Don't know what happened there. Or infantry that can tag a vehicle with blast. Um, yeah, they turn off the DDAs pretty quickly. So that's been the pain point of Star Shatter Arsenal. Like, yeah, you can shoot things, but can you score points? And you need points to win the game overall. And then taking another step back, I don't think Star Shatter Arsenal is the best detachment. I know I said that, just like everybody else, but I think it's not. I think the crown still goes to Hypercrypt Legion. Why is that? Well, my thing with Star Shatter Arsenal, besides anything that I've said before, I guess, the things that you are buffing don't get so that much better in Star Shatter Arsenal. They don't. The things that we go, well, wow, I can't believe somebody took the thing we were already taking. That's my point. That's exactly my point. Yeah, you can hit something on an objective marker with +1 to hit. The DDA has heavy, and we previously had a way to put it down in the exact position I want so it doesn't have to move, so it can turn on the devastating wounds ability and use heavy. Giving a DDA assault doesn't do much for me when I can place it down somewhere. Okay, what's the other scary thing? The Silent King. Doesn't give me much when I can place it down somewhere. Now, you can give both of these either -1 to damage, or, well, you can do this at the same time. -1 damage, or -1 to wound if, strength greater than toughness. You can, and that's fine. But what if I told you we've already had a way to reduce damage from the Silent King, and hell, vehicles overall, including Titanic vehicles? I know I was among the many that said, well, fuck, I waited for Obeison's Phalanx to be good this entire time, now I have no reason to play it. And that's a bit untrue on my part. I think that's not that correct. Now, is Starshatter better than Obeison's Phalanx? I think confidently, yes, right? However, we've had a way to reduce damage for a vehicle before, i.e. the Silent King, and then crits on fives for other shit, which goes to my next point of, yeah, I can shoot in general. I don't know how much harder I'm shooting if it's not touching an objective. I already had access to rerolls. But how do I play the game beyond shooting something? And am I doing that with things that are going to benefit once they get touched? A lot of the army turns off once it gets touched. Heavy destroyers, yeah, they turn off. DDA gets turned off. Silent King, yeah, has a chance. But once you shoot them out with those points, what do you do? Right? Now, it should be said that we need to see more Tomb Blades in list, I guess, and more spiders for things. But in Hypercrypt Legion, I can take my other scary things and drag and drop them and give them actually decent buffs too. I can drag and drop a Catan who halves damage. I can drag and drop these Scorpec destroyers that's like, oh, you could put +1 to hit on Scorpecs. It's like, I could just put them in the spot, and then if they get shot, call them back, and then give them a way to charge after being dropped and all that other good shit. I can drop a Tesseract Vault somewhere, and if you try to shoot it within 18 inches, you get hazardous. Instead of my unit activating reanimation protocols at the end of my fight phase, I can include things in reserves to reanimate in general. There's much more play for Hypercrypt Legion, even though it just took another nerf, right? There's more play here. It gives me access to, it removes a lot of the weaknesses for some of the units, such as Catan being slow, Scorpex being infantry. Like, they have to get to a point. Hell, both the DDA and the heavy destroyers that are being toted here for having assault and having a way to go through a wall now. What if the wall technically wasn't there? What if I just put them over there and then shoot? Yeah, there's a reactive move, but what if I put them in a position that gives them a line to an enemy that is just going to kill them? And then I don't have to worry about getting shot back. What if I do that? So again, don't get me wrong, Starshatter is good. But the more I think about it, maybe the combination of chrono impedance fields and merciless reclamation is where I start to go, huh, this is worth playing over something else. But it doesn't affect enough things for me to go, this is our scariest option. The flexibility of Hypercrypt Legion is hard to beat. I've been high on Hypercrypt Legion the entire time. Telling me I can teleport Catan is really good, right? It's really good. Giving any vehicle a 4-up invuln to that point, right? So, what other vehicles could I take? Doomstalker, yeah, has an invuln. Giving it assault, fuck it, that is something better. -1 to damage, also better. Something like a Doom Scythe that might benefit from hitting something on objective markers because it is an aircraft. -1 to wound is fine. -1 damage if you can pull that off, fine. A 4-up invuln for that, kind of better. Because if your opponent goes from wounding your T9 vehicle, for example, let's just take my Tyran effects, right? Strength 18, hitting a DDA, means I go from wounding on 2s with Merciless Reclamation to wounding on 3s. And if you fail one or two of those, well, there's only two shots. But you cannot afford to not pass those 4-ups. Pretty much all the same. So, was that a CP well spent? I don't know. Now, of course, you're talking about more things like if I shoot you with Zoes, where you go from wounding on 3s to 4s. That's a bigger save. But that's for vehicles that have a 4-up invuln, specifically the DDA. If I shoot a Doom Scythe with my Zoes, you have to make 5s, which isn't 4s, which is harder to make. So I think I'd take the 4, right? I can position a Doom Scythe out of reserves with Hypercrypt Legion. I have access to other things here. I can put my infantry that both can score points and attack things, mount it whatever, and Hypercrypt Legion. Awakened Dynasty even has strats that are comparable. Well, enhancement strats, whatever, things in it that are comparable. Phaser Subjugator. While a friendly Necrons unit, excluding character units, is within 6 inches of the bearer, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, +1 to hit. No requirement for something to be on the objective. And if a character is leading the unit, +1 to hit for that unit. There's a way to give a DDA assault if I needed that. Now, I can't spend a second command point to, well, I guess a command point to put it through the wall, because assault is the detachment rule, but might roll a 6, might not. With Protocol of the Conqueror Tyrant, my 72-inch shooting DDA probably can reroll hit rolls of 1. And then my other shit can have something in the fight phase. Undying Legions helps out the mounted aspect. So Awakened Dynasty still has a good shout too. The only ones that I think it's clearly better than, and even then I'm not sure on Obeisance Phalanx anymore. I know you go, oh, come the fuck on. I get it. +1 to wound for 1 target at a time, you know, that's whatever, but if I want to take a Tesseract Vault or a Monolith, -1 damage on those motherfuckers is something else. Crits on 5s for my Scorpex is something else. Crits on 5s for my, once again, Heavy Destroyers. Well, wait, they already get that. Never mind. Yeah, so shit. Crits on 5s for my Heavy Destroyers and crits on 5s for my Scorpex. That's the worst time for people. -1 damage for the King. There you go. The King solo holds an objective. There we go. So it affects less in Obeisance Phalanx, but I think what it does affect is okay. Charged Stalkers get something in here too that I don't know if they need in Starshatter either. And a de facto one that is a hard reach. I'm not sure how much I value Assault on Heavy Destroyers compared to +1 AP. I'm not sure yet. Now, this is definitely better than Annihilation Legion. That's for sure. But again, what if I'm feeling funky and want to run Destroyer Cult? Flayed Ones might tag DDAs and might end the game. Then I have Lethals on Scorpex beat their ass? I don't know. There's a chance where... There's actually a chance where Annihilation Legion can beat Starshatter Arsenal. I guess there's a chance for anything, right? But, yeah. Funny enough, -1 to hit. There is a chance. So, I think I'm back to believing in Hypercrypt Legion more than anything else. I think right now, Starshatter is just the new hotness. And you know what? Fuck it. If people really want to nerf it, fine, I guess. But I think Hypercrypt Legion is still the best one. Like, yeah, I get it. It has a legacy where you can already see the effects of it throughout this entire edition, basically. But what happens when less people are playing Starshatter? Does it stack up through the course of, like, this is relatively low compared to what happened this weekend and the amount of players that brought Starshatter. Let's compare that to Astra Militarum. Where are you? Yeah, Bridgehead Strike, 1, 2, 3, and then Combined Regiment, 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. I don't know. I'm not convinced that Starshatter Arsenal is that crazy. I think it just looks crazy right now. And people are going to tech for it, i.e., T9 blast vehicles. But then somebody's going to remind everybody that a Catan is hard to kill when it teleports. So, yeah, that's my stance. I think Starshatter, fine, go ahead and nerf it, I guess. I'll see you all at Hypercrypt Legion when everybody wants to come back home. So yeah, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.